One.
Hello, I'm Guy Berger, owner of Palms Trading Company here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. For this edition of our YouTube Tips of the Week, I'd like to talk a little bit about the signature period of Maria Martinez pottery. Maria was unique in the sense that throughout her potting life, the signatures changed every now and then, and that gives us a great indication of when the pots were made. The first signature that Maria used was Poveka. Poveka was her Indian name. That signature was found on about 4 pieces according to Richard Spivey's book. By the way, that's a terrific book, The Legacy of Maria Martinez, that he did, that gives a great rendition of the period signatures for Maria toward the back of his book. But anyway, it was about 1918 that she used that Poveka name, and there are about 4 examples of that signature available. It is generally believed that 1923 was when Maria really started signing her pots, and she used the word Marie. And the reason they did that was because that some of her friends and advisors thought that Marie was a little bit more acceptable name than Maria toward the general non-Indian pottery buying public. The third signature was with her husband Julian around the year 1925. We're coming up on 80 to 100 years of Maria pottery. In fact, it's generally interesting to me to know that a piece of Maria pottery that you hold in your hands was made so long ago. And you can kind of feel that spirit and her spirit in the pot. The fourth signature was Marie and Santana. That was the year about 1943. Santana was her daughter-in-law, her son's Adam's wife. And then later on, they changed that they changed it to Maria and Santana. That was about the year 1948. So there was a 5-year difference between Marie and Santana and Maria and Santana. The sixth signature was with her back to her Indian name, Maria Poveka, and that was around the year 1955. So if you have a pot that's signed Maria Poveka, it was signed between 1955 and even through the 60s. And the final signature was with her son Popovi. That started in about 1956. And then later on, Popovi developed a way to date the pottery. So if you see a pot that has like 869, that means August of 1969. So anyway, that's a short recap, and I have a few pieces here to show you. It'll be hard to see the signature on the bottom, but I want to hold one up and show it to you anyway. You want to make sure that to be an original Maria piece, the piece is polished, or the signature is polished into the clay. If you have a piece that you think is Maria but it's scratched in with a nail or a knife or a blade of some kind, it still may be a Maria, but in order to be sure, it's really important that you have a polished in signature. This first piece I want to show you is a Maria and Santana piece, a bowl. Again, that signature was around 1943 pot. This is the same signature in a plate, just a plain polished plate. The third example is actually a Maria Popovi plate, which she did with her son Popovi. Again, that signature started in about 1956. And the final example I have here is actually I've got these mixed up. This is the Popovi plate, and this is a Maria Poveka plate, so 1955, 1956. Well, hopefully that short rundown helps you determining what year your Maria pot was made.